Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of my declutter series. The first declutter series I've ever done on my channel after 6 years of doing this full time basically, so there's a lot of stuff to go through. Today we're going to be decluttering my bronzers, high-end and drugstore. So here is my drugstore drawer, which we will be decluttering first, and after that, bring you over here, we are going to declutter my high-end bronzers as well. I love bronzers so much, as you guys know, so let's get to it. Okay, starting with my drugstore bronzers. I think I'm gonna go from left to right here. First off, I've actually got a couple of shades. These are brand new powders, or bronzers I should say. But these are brand new from Haley's Beauty. These are their Resculpt smoothing powders. I love these so much, this bronzer. But I only need one shade really, and definitely this shade, I use it all the time. I'm actually wearing it today. Love it so much, so I'm gonna keep this one in here. I don't know if I'm gonna declutter these because I love the formula so much. So I might keep them in like my makeup artist section, if that makes sense, of like products that I love the formula, but maybe I might need a deeper shade at some point for a reason. So I'm gonna keep these and this. Okay, next we have this e.l.f. Forever Sun-Kissed bronzer. I honestly don't remember how I feel about this, but I love to keep e.l.f. products in here. I don't think I have a ton of e.l.f. bronzers, so I am going to keep this one. I absolutely love the Milani Baked bronzers. I have a few shades of this. They're so beautiful, and I do actually use, let's see, the shade 05 Soleil is one of their most popular shades. I love that one for myself in the summer. Dolce is a little bit lighter. Love both of these, so I'm going to keep them. We've got the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Now this one's actually in the shade Light Bronzer. I typically use the shade Bronzer, but I do like to have this shade just in case. Which, while I'm at it, I might as well just show you the bronzer shade as well. So this is bronzer, this one's light bronzer. I'm keeping them both. I don't know if you can't tell already, but I love bronzers, so I'm not sure how successful my drugstore declutter will go, but we'll see. I'm 1000% keeping this. This is like my favorite bronzer ever from the drugstore. I actually have two of these, which is probably unnecessary. I don't know how I ended up with two. I have literally used both like crazy, so I don't know. I'm just gonna keep them. I love this ColourPop Super Shock bronzer. It's amazing. This is in the shade Get Sandy. Definitely a keeper. This is the old packaging of the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I like to keep things updated in my videos, so I will get rid of this one since it's the old packaging. The Physicians Formula Matte Monoi Bronzer. These are okay. I don't know. They have quite an intense smell to them. I honestly have not used this. I always just use the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I think I will declutter this one. Oh, this is heartbreaking, honestly. Because this broke, but I love these too much, and I actually love both of these shades. So I have Sunrise L1 and Sun Swept. I like to mix them both. This is the Flower Beauty Heatwave Luminous Bronzers. They're amazing baked bronzers, so I'm keeping them, even though I probably need to replace this one because I broke it, but I haven't yet, so I'm just gonna keep it. This is the Winky Luxe Bronzer. I honestly don't remember how I feel about this. I'm telling you, these declutter videos are making me like want to dip back into products that I actually forgot about. This being one of them, so I am gonna hang on to this one just because I feel like I need to give it another shot. This is like a double decker bronzer from the Lip Bar. I honestly don't even know if I've tried this. Maybe once, which for most people would mean that you should probably declutter it, but I am so curious to know how I feel about it because I don't remember, so I'm gonna keep it. This is the CoverGirl True Blend So Flushed bronzer. I don't even know if I've used this. I'm trying to see. I think I have like once. I do not remember how I feel about it, and this is one that I've had for a while, so I am going to declutter this one. I will be keeping, on the other hand, the Ulta Beauty Baked Bronzer. I picked this up because of one of your guys' recommendations, and it's really pretty, so I wanted to keep that, so we'll keep and declutter. Next we have this number 7 bronzer, which is another one that I really don't remember how I feel, but I do really like number 7 products, so I am going to keep this. The ColourPop Coconut Beach Bronzer. I don't even know if you can get this anymore, but it is so good. It's one of my favorites. I use this to death. I love it, so I will be keeping this. I'm also going to be keeping this Honest Beauty one. This is the Dusk Reflection Luminizing Glow Powder. I love it. I don't know. Do I need this? I truly feel like as fun as these are to have, I always just go back to my butter bronzer. So I tried this once, and I honestly just, when I want to use a Physicians Formula bronzer, I just use the butter one. So I am actually going to give this away. So this is going to go. I bet a family member or friend might like this though, because it's brand new to me, but you know, I don't need to keep it. the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Bronzer. I used to use this quite a bit. Honestly, it's a little bit too orangey toned for my liking now, so I am gonna declutter this, but I truly like used to be obsessed with the entire Healthy Skin Blends line from Neutrogena. It's so good, but I definitely don't wear this anymore, so I will get rid of it. I love this one. It's so good, the Revlon Skin Lights Bronzer. It's definitely more of a luminous formula, so definitely not one that I wear like every day. I prefer a matte formula, but I love having this drugstore luminous option. It's so pretty on the skin, so I'm keeping it. I honestly don't remember how I feel about this one either, the Believe Beauty bronzer, but I love Believe Beauty products, especially their highlighter and their foundation. So I'm gonna keep this to give another shot because I truly can't remember how I feel. I'm pretty sure I like this, but it's been a while since I've worn it. I'm obsessed with the L'Oreal Infallible bronzer. I will be keeping this. That's a no-brainer. As well as the Maybelline City bronzer. I'm keeping both of these. These are like classics. I cannot not have these in my collection. They're so good. The CoverGirl True Blend bronzer, I don't know the last time I used this, and I like the Milani ones better when I'm thinking about like a baked bronzer, so I am gonna get rid of this one. This is like a luminous bronzer from Believe Beauty. I don't think I've ever used it. It's Tahitian Sun, that's the shade. I'm gonna get rid of this one because I just don't use super glowy bronzers all that often unless it's like the Revlon one every once in a while, so I'm gonna get rid of this one. I honestly don't even know what this one is. It has like no shade on the back. Maybe it's one of their products that like I put the insert into the packaging, if you know what I mean. I don't even know what this one is. I haven't used it in forever, so I'm actually gonna declutter this one. We've got another ColourPop bronzer. This is the pressed powder bronzer in the shade Talk to the Palm. This one's definitely a little bit more deep, and I didn't get very much use out of this. It still looks brand new, so I'm gonna give this away. So this one I don't need to keep. I'll be getting rid of this. The Catrice Sungasm Luminizing Bronzers. I love the Sungasm highlighter, but I honestly have not used these at all, so I'm gonna declutter both of these. Okay, moving on to like some of the bigger bronzer palettes. I love this one from Juvia's Place, the Bronzed Bronze palette in light. You guys know I love having both shades. I can mix and match, so I'm keeping this. I actually recently bought this, and I haven't officially tried it yet. This is the LA Girl Matte Bronzer. I hear really good things about it, so I'm gonna keep it because I haven't tried it yet. It's new to me, and I'm excited to give it a go. Love the L'Oreal Lumi Bronze It Bronzer. Totally keeping this. The Carter Beauty face palette, I honestly never ever use. Cute packaging, but I feel like the colors are just a little bit too deep for me, so besides one, and that's not a reason for me to keep a whole face palette, so I'm gonna declutter this. I forgot I had this. This is the Morphe bronzer. What's this called? Whoa. This is the Glamour Bronze and Mastermind. I forgot that I bought this. I need to try it again. I feel like I got this because of Kathleen Lights. I feel like she really liked it or something. I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to keep this to try soon. I forgot I had it, honestly. The Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder is a really, really great, very affordable option. I do actually really like this one, even though it's a little bit more orangey red toned for me. So I do like to wear this more in the summer or layer it on top of a more cool tone bronzer, but still it's worth having in my collection, so I'm going to keep it. The e.l.f. Putty Bronzer, I honestly don't get tons of use out of myself, but I like to keep products like this in my collection because I know that they are requested quite a bit, and a lot of people do enjoy the putty line from e.l.f., so I am going to keep this. I am not going to keep this Soul Body... Whoa. Face and Body Bronzing Balm. This was supposed to be like a dupe for the Chanel one. The color is just not great on me, so I don't ever use it. I wanted to love it because a lot of people did, but I definitely don't use it at all, so I'm gonna get rid of this. The Flower Beauty Heat Wave Bronzing Essence is actually an incredible product. I love this one, so I'll be keeping it. This one's tricky, the NYX Wonder Stick, because I actually do like the contour shade on here, but I never use the highlighter shade. But I guess that's not a reason to get rid of the whole thing, so I'll keep it just for the cream contour, because it really is a nice formula and tone and undertone for me, so I'll keep it. I'm going to be decluttering the Physicians Formula Sculpting Bronzer Stick. I never ever use this, and it's definitely expired by now. I just recently bought this MOIRA cream bronzer, this Stay Golden cream bronzer, so I'm going to be keeping it to continue to try. I don't remember like being obsessed over this when I first tried it, but that's more for the color versus the formula, but I'm gonna keep it. I am beyond in love with my ColourPop Avila Beach bronzer, so this is definitely a no-brainer. I'm gonna keep this one. I also just recently bought this one from MOIRA. It's like a luminous bronzer. It's really pretty, but I've only used it once, so I do want to keep trying it, so I'll keep it. The L'Oreal Bronze Please bronzer in the shade La Terra is a little bit too warm for me. It just doesn't really flatter my skin tone, and I haven't really gotten much use out of this. I prefer the Bronze It bronzer over this one, so I'm going to declutter this. And then lastly, we have the Bronze Booster Bronzer from Physicians Formula. This is an old product to me, but it's so good. I don't know if they make this anymore, but regardless, I know I should probably get rid of it because I haven't used it in so long. If I see it at the drugstore, I will probably repurchase this, but this is definitely expired, so I'm going to be getting rid of this one. Okay, so that's it for drugstore. Let's go ahead and see the progress we've made so far, and then we'll head over to my high-end drawer. Okay, so here's what we're keeping, and here's what I have decluttered. So, you know, not too many that I'm getting rid of from drugstore because I just love bronzers. But let's go ahead and put these back in the drawer and see how much better it looks. Hopefully it looks a little bit more clean and organized. All right, well, I feel like we made progress because there's definitely room here for growth. Which is not the reason why we should declutter, but it's kind of the reason why I do. So I kind of like just organize it by shapes, mostly. I did my creams and liquids here, my shimmery or face palettes, like with the bronzer situation, like the 2 double ones, and then like my matte large bronzers, and then just like single bronzers there. So I feel good about it. Let's see if we can do some damage with the high-end bronzers though. That's gonna be harder for me. Okay, part 2, the high-end drawer. Let's see if we can make some progress here. I'm seeing immediately the Marc Jacobs bronzer. These are the Omega bronzers. Marc Jacobs Beauty is no longer around. And you know, a lot of people really love these bronzers, but I just didn't. So I'm actually gonna declutter them, which is kind of crazy because I'm sure some people would be so sad about that, but I just never get use out of it. So this is gonna go. I've got the Nabla Skin Bronzing Powder in the shade Dune. I've never opened this, it's too deep for me, so I'm gonna give this away. I absolutely love my Gucci bronzer. I know that's like so bougie, but genuinely I love the tone and undertone and formula of this. This is in the shade 01, so she's a keeper. Plus, I mean, the packaging is to die for. I've got quite a few shades of the Mario bronzer, mostly for when I do people's makeup, so I'm not sure where all of them are, but I love this formula, so I'm keeping all the Mario ones for sure. I love this NARS cream bronzer in the shade Laguna 01, so it's like a lighter shade. The formula blends like a dream, so I'm keeping it for sure. I also love this Rare Beauty bronzing stick in the shade Happy Soul, so I'm gonna keep this. This is a recent favorite as of like, you know, the past few months when I've been able to try it. It's the Westman Atelier Face Trace Contour Stick in the shade Biscuit. It's amazing, so I'm keeping it. This is technically a highlighter from Too Faced, but I never use it, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. The Laura Mercier Bronze 01 Bronzer. I love a good baked bronzer. This is definitely an older product in my collection, but I still like it. So I'm actually gonna keep this one. This is an example of a product that does not exist anymore that I just can't declutter quite yet. It's the Becca Bronzed Beach Bronzer. So I'm keeping it, even though I won't be using it in videos. I like to have it in my personal collection. I loved these for a hot minute. They're the Urban Decay Beach bronzers, but I just don't use them anymore, and I honestly don't think they make them anymore. I could be wrong, but I'm gonna get rid of both of these. Love the Charlotte Tilbury one. This is a kind of like cream to powder formula. I really love the tone and undertone of this, and I've been using it like crazy lately, so I'm keeping it. I don't think they make this anymore. This is an incredible liquid bronzer from Bare Minerals. It's the Bare Pro Glow liquid bronzer in the shade Faux Tan. I love it. I'm not gonna get rid of it yet. I need to look around and see if they make this anymore and get backups, because I should probably declutter it because of how old it is, but I just can't because I love it too much, so I'm gonna keep it. I'm also going to be keeping the Hollywood Contour Wand from Charlotte Tilbury. I just barely restocked this. It's one of my favorites, so I'm gonna keep it. Here's another Becca one that I love, the Sunrise Waves bronzer. I bet this is gonna bring back some memories for some of you guys. I know they don't make this anymore, but I can't get rid of it yet, so I'm gonna keep it. Here's another Marc Jacobs one that I don't use. This one's a little bit of a lighter shade, honestly, so I use this a little bit more. Now that I think of it, maybe I'll keep it just to have at least one Marc Jacobs bronzer since they are so iconic, even though they're not around anymore. Here's a NARS. This is like a limited edition one. This is the Paradise Found bronzing powder. I kept it, I think, because of the packaging, and also the inside is so pretty. But this gold kind of like topper situation made me not dip into it ever. So this is actually brand new still. Definitely something that I probably won't use now, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it. This is a fantastic bronzer duo from Patrick Ta. Definitely keeping it. It's the cream and powder situation, or what's this called? The cream contour and powder bronzer duo. This is in the shade She's Statuesque, and it's incredible. I love it. Oh my goodness, I forgot that I had this. The Hourglass bronzer in the shade Nude Bronze Light. Oh my gosh, I need to like put this on my desk so I can use it more because it's beautiful. Definitely keeping it. Can't believe I forgot about it. I'm like mad at myself for forgetting about that one. Okay, here's another Mario bronzer. This is in the shade medium. I definitely don't use this on myself, but I do use it on other people. This is my most used shade, the shade light. So I'm gonna keep this in the drawer. I realized I should probably move the other Mario bronzers elsewhere so that it's just not taking up space in my personal drawer. But I love this formula and the shade is everything. Well, I had every intention of using this bronzer. It looks so pretty. The packaging is great, but I never did. So I'm gonna get rid of this. It's a MAC Radiant Matte Bronzing Powder in Beijing Beauty. I think this is like a limited edition one. I don't even know, but I don't use it. So I'm gonna get rid of that one. I'm gonna be keeping the Kosas bronzer in the shade light. I really do like this one. I love how it's a baked formula. It just looks really nice on the skin. And I love having more of a clean formula option. Here's another Nabla Skin Bronzing Powder that I never opened. Definitely a shade that's too deep for me, so I'm gonna get rid of this. This is the Lawless Seal the Deal powder in Golden Translucent. I feel like somebody used this as a bronzer, so I attempted to use it as bronzer once. I can't remember how I feel about it. I actually love this formula though. It's one of the best powder formulas, so I might hang on to it just to see. Well, I don't know. I think I'll hang on to it to try it one more time as a bronzer, and if I like the tone and undertone, I'll keep it. If not, it definitely needs to go, so I'm gonna hang on to it for a little bit. I would never ever get rid of this one. This is the Huda Beauty Tantour Contour Bronzer Cream. It's amazing. I will forever repurchase this. It's so good, so I'm gonna keep it. All right, we've got some cream bronzers from Fenty. The shade Macchiato, I really don't use. Butter Biscuit, I use a little bit more. What I use the most though is 01 Amber. So I think, well, this one's like much more of like a contour shade. Should I keep Macchiato? I think I might. Just in case I need it for my summer fake tan moments, you know? I'm gonna keep all three. Also definitely gonna keep the Sunstalker bronzer in the shade Into Sun. This is their powder formula. Amazing. Love this tone and undertone on me. Definitely gonna get rid of the Perricone MD No Makeup bronzer. This is very expired at this point. These are newer to me and I really do like them. These are the One Size Beauty Made for Shade Bronze and Sculpt Trios. I've got the Fair Trio and the Light Trio in here. I am gonna keep both. Ooh, my Christian Dior Natural Bronzer. Ooh, I love this one. I also kind of forgot about this one too, but this is so pretty. I love it, so I'm keeping it. The Anastasia one, I truly wish that they made this a little bit more cool tone because the formula itself is actually stunning, but it's just a little bit too warm for me, so I don't reach for it all the time, but I still want to hang on to it because the formula is so good and I can usually kind of cancel out some of those super warm tones with a more cool tone bronzer mixed in, so I'm keeping it. Here's one that I spent an arm and a leg on. The Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate. Let's see. I actually do really love this. This is in the shade Intensity 0.5, so it's great for my fair skin. I will not be decluttering Tom Ford. Sorry, not sorry. Even though I don't really use this on camera, or really not ever, at least not super frequently, it's more of a special occasion situation for me, I still love to have it in my collection. These are the Dibs Bronzer and Blush Duos. I'm gonna keep them in the bronzer drawer because I use them for bronzer mostly. Love them, love the formula, so I'm keeping all three of these. Woo! Almost broke that. Oh gosh. Well, kind of did. Oh no. Oh boy. Have I even used this before? The Kylie Cosmetics Bronzer Stick in Bronze Light. I don't even think I've used it, but I want to give it a shot, so I'm going to keep it, even though it just like broke on me basically. This is a Duo Face Sculpting Contour Stick from the brand Sia. Actually looks really pretty, but I haven't ever used it. I don't know. I think I'll probably declutter this one. I'm obsessed with the Mario Cream Contour Sticks. Again, these are shades that I don't need to keep all three in my drawer because I don't use all three all the time, but I do want to keep them somewhere in my collection, so I'm going to put this in like my makeup artist stash, but I will keep the shade Light in my drawer. Okay, these Buxom bronzers I feel like got so popular, and I kept them because they're so pretty, and I just haven't really used them that much. I don't know. They're still really nice. I feel like I want to keep them though. Even though I haven't used them in forever, something is telling me to just keep them, so I'm going to. Oh my goodness, the Ciate Palm Island Bronzer. I feel like they don't make this anymore. Maybe I'm thinking of another Ciate product, I don't know, but this is like an incredible formula, so I'm definitely gonna keep it. I need to double check if they make this because I'm gonna be really sad if they stopped. Anyway, keeping it. The Guerlain Terracotta Bronzer. This is something that I bought for an Allure Best of Beauty video. I think I used it one time and then forgot about it, but I do want to keep it in my collection since it is such a classic favorite. I like to have these types of iconic products just in case I need them for a future video. I really do do love the Laura Geller Baked line, so I'm going to keep this bronzer from her. Love this Pure Cosmetics bronzer. This is the Bronzing Act bronzer in the shade Light. It's so pretty. Definitely a keeper. This is the NARS matte bronzer in the shade Vallarta. It is so beautiful. I'm definitely keeping it. The Clinique bronzer in Sunkissed. I don't remember how I feel about this. I feel like I haven't really tried it too many times, so I'm going to keep it to keep trying, and who knows, if I don't use it in the next few months, I will probably declutter it, but I feel like it deserves a second shot. The By Terry bronzer, actually it's like a powder in beige nude. I haven't used this in so long. I love By Terry. I don't know what I want to do with this one. Do I keep it? Do I not? You know, in the past when I'm indecisive, I just keep it so that I don't regret it later. I'm gonna keep these two shades of the Nabla Skin Bronzing Powder. We have Ombre, and then this one is Soft Revenge. I do use both of these, and the formula is really pretty. I'm also gonna keep these Mario bronzers. This is the Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Perfector in Light, and the Soft Sculpt Skin Enhancer, which is like the more cream one, also in Light. I love both of these. This is the Thrive Cosmetics Sun Chaser bronzer in the shade EOS. I don't really use this one as much as the other one, Rhea, which I think is actually on my desk right now. So I'll keep that one and get rid of this one. I love this Jaclyn Cosmetics Vitamin D bronzer. It's so good. It's one of my favorites from actually last year. It was in my best of year video, so I'm definitely keeping it. This is the OG packaging of the Too Faced Milk Chocolate bronzer. I definitely think I should get rid of this because I think I did rebuy. Yeah, I have the updated packaging, which I like to keep for my videos. I might hang on to this one in my archives though, so it might end up in there. I have like an archive bin of products that just have good memories attached to it, so I'll probably end up, you know, putting it in there. But I don't need to keep both of these in my drawer. I'll just keep the updated packaging and formula. These are definitely classics. I'm going to keep them. I feel like they have updated the packaging, but I don't have the new ones, so I'm just going to keep these Hoola Light and the original Hoola from Benefit. I used to love this bronzer from Milk Makeup. This is their matte bronzer in the shade Baked. It's definitely an older product, so I need to declutter it, but I feel like I need to revisit it because I used to use this like crazy. So I'm going to get rid of it, but I'm going to make a note to possibly repurchase this one because I used to use it so much. This is the Bare Minerals Bare Pro Glow in the shade Warmth. I like the shade Faux better, but I am still going to keep this one just because you can't get it anymore, I don't think. And I love this so much, so the formula is too good to part with it. This is the Too Faced Sun Bunny bronzer. I actually bought this because of a video, and I haven't used it in a while, but I remember really liking this, so I'm going to keep this one as well. This is a blast from the past, the Bahama Mama bronzer from The Balm. This was one of my very first bronzers ever. Not this specific one, but it was one of the first like matte bronzers I ever bought, so I'm going to keep it. This is the Bare Minerals Press Bronzer in the shade Warmth. I honestly don't really use this that much. I use the other shade Faux more, which I don't actually even see in here. I wonder where that one ran off to, but I'm going to declutter this one. This is the Ofra and Samantha March bronzer duo. It's in the shade River, and this one's like a little bit too warm for my skin tone, so even though it's a really pretty formula, it's not a shade that I wear all the time, so I'm actually going to give this away to family and friends. Okay, I've got two of the Kylie Cosmetics bronzers. Both are in the shade Khaki. I think this is the old formula, this one, and here's the new one. Why do they look different? No, they look different? What? Like the shade looks different. I don't know. Regardless, you can't get this old one anymore, so I'm gonna get rid of it. And this one looks like it's more warm toned than the old one used to be, which is kind of interesting, but I'm gonna keep this. I love the Bobbi Brown bronzers. This is in the shade Stone Street, and then I have another one too called Golden Light. I love them both, so I'm gonna keep them both. The Persona Cosmetics bronzer stick in Sahara is a deeper shade. I'm not gonna use this. I use the other one, which is the shade Dune. So I get tons of use out of Dune. I'm gonna keep this, and I'm gonna go ahead and pass along this one since I'm not gonna use it for myself. I actually really love this Danessa Myricks Balmy bronzer. What's it called? Maybe? I don't remember the exact name for this. Regardless, it's a really cool formula. It actually has more of an olive undertone, which is interesting, but it's a really, really nice cream bronzer. So I'm gonna keep it. These Oma Beauty Double Take Sculpt and Strobe sticks. I never used number 3, so I'm gonna get rid of that one. Or wait, they both say number 3. Wait, so this is the shade Fair Lady. I definitely use White Pearl more, so the purple packaging, so I'm gonna keep this one and get rid of this one. The Lila B bronzer is actually so beautiful, but they are no longer available. This brand has gone out of business, which is so sad. Such a pretty bronzer, actually. I really loved the combination of these two, but I'm not going to keep it anymore just because you cannot get it anymore. I'm definitely going to keep my Dior bronzer quad, or what is this called? The Contour palette. I love it. It's really nice to have, and it's great to like mix and match. I actually use the deeper shades on my eyes, which is nice. So it's like a good one and done sculpting face palette. This is the Jaclyn Cream Bronzer in the shade Nakey, which is from one of her summer collections. I don't think they have this anymore, but I actually love the formula and the color, so I'm going to keep it. This is another Rare Beauty bronzer. I don't use this one quite as much as Happy Soul, but I'm still going to keep it just to mix with the other one if I want a little more warmth. This is the Huda Beauty Glowish Bronzer. I've only used this a couple of times, but I still want to keep it in my collection because it's really pretty, so this one's going to stay. I'm totally going to keep the Say Beauty Bronzer. I don't get like tons of use out of this, honestly, because it's a little bit too deep for my winter complexion, but I do really like the formula, so I'm going to keep it for summer. This Galactic Bronzer in Cabo. Oh my goodness, I used to use this quite a bit. It's been forever and I honestly forgot about it, so I think I will declutter this one. What is this? I don't even remember. Have I used it? It's still in its box. From the brand Cargo. This is the bronzing powder. Oh well, if I haven't used it now, I probably won't use it, so I'm going to get rid of this one. This is an oldie but a goodie, the Bare Minerals Invisible Bronze Bronzer. I don't even know if they make it anymore, but I like to keep it because it was one of my favorites for a while, and I just love this baked formula. It's so pretty. I will be keeping the M Cosmetics bronzer. This is their cream bronzer in the shade Terra. Really nice tone and undertone, and the formula blends like a dream. I'm also going to keep the Nude Sticks Bondi Bay Cream Contour Stick. I really like this one. The KKW Beauty Contour Stick. They don't make this currently, but I'm going to hang on to it until I know for sure when she relaunches her brand that she has it before I replenish it. So I'm going to keep this to remind myself to rebuy it when she brings back her brand. This is the Jouer Bloom Bronze and Glow Stick, which I think I've only used like one time. What's on the other side? Oh, so it's just bronzer and then a highlight on the other side. It's pretty new to me, so I'm gonna keep this to keep using. This Tarte bronzer I used like once and then did not like the undertone of it for myself. I kind of want to try it one more time before decluttering it because I know a lot of people like this formula, so I'm gonna keep it, and I need to try it one more time to make sure and see whether I love it or hate it, you know, because I can't quite remember, so I'm gonna keep it for now. The Tower 28 bronzer in Bronzino. It definitely looks a little bit wild. It doesn't look the cutest right now. I need to like go through and clean my products after I declutter, so I'll be doing that. But I do really like this one. I don't use it all the time, but I like having it in my collection, so I'm gonna keep it. This Laura Mercier bronzer in Soleil 1. I really like this, so I'm gonna keep this one as well. I'm gonna keep the Ilia bronzer in the shade Drawn In. It's really nice. And then last but not least, this is the Kaleidos Cool and Light Charisma Contour Palette. Look how cool this is. It's actually one that I haven't used that many times, but I really do love the tones in here, so I am gonna keep this as well. Look, you guys, we did it. Okay, let's see how many we're keeping and how many are going. Alrighty, so here's what we officially kept from high end, and here are all the ones that I'm going to depart with. Not a huge declutter, but you know what? I'm pretty proud of myself considering how much I love bronzers. So let's go ahead and put these back in the drawer, and then we'll see how much better it looks for that final satisfying after shot, you know? All right. I'm actually really excited about this because we found a couple of organizer bins. We don't have all of them for every drawer, but we were able to get enough for the bronzer drawer. And so they have bins now. I feel like this looks so much better, you guys. Oh my gosh. So I kind of tried to organize it. It didn't work out perfectly in every situation, but I've got like some of my pressed bronzers here, a lot of my cream bronzers and baked bronzers in this right here. I've got some like high-end pressed bronzers and then like face palettes or duos like the Patrick Ta one or the Dior one. And then I've got my like pot cream bronzers in here, and then my stick cream bronzers, and then some of the larger or more odd shaped palettes or bronzers that didn't fit in here kind of are in the front. But I am really satisfied with how this is organized. It makes me so happy that I can see all of them instead of them being like stacked on top of each other. So that's it for today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed seeing my bronzer declutter. Stay tuned for more declutters coming soon, and if you want to see the declutter videos that I already have up, I will have the playlist in the description box down below. This is satisfying, and it's making me want to just put more bronzer on my face now that I can see everything that I have. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and like I said, check out the description box for the playlist for my declutter videos, and then stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a wonderful day wherever you are, and I'll see you in my next video. Love you. Bye!